In today's video, we're going to talk about a revolutionary swing thought for a player that I worked with recently that I want you to have in your golf swing. So I was given a lesson recently to a gentleman named Robert. He says, okay, I could use his name. I told him I was going to do a video. And the thought that I gave him really for him was revolutionary. This is a gentleman like me and probably like you who has really struggled with too many swing thoughts. He was really struggling getting his takeaway in line. And you know, his swing pattern was he'd come back too far inside and then he'd get too steep and over the top coming down. And I see that pattern all the time. And I said, Robert, listen, I'm going to give you a phrase here that I want you to feel. And I bet if we change the way the club works early in the backswing, it's going to change the way the club works early in the downswing. And it did just that. So here's the swing thought. Now there's three little parts to it, but it's just one thought here. And as I'm doing this, let's put up Adam Scott on the other side. This is what I showed him when we were in person through Analyzer. I drew a line on Adam's shoulder, okay? And then I just drew a line up the club plane. Maybe we can put a club plane line here too. Now, his issue when he went back was his left shoulder went too high, the left elbow started to point away, and the glove logo started to point up towards the sky. Now, when I do that, where does that put the shaft at? It's too flat, right? Now, as he kept going up and he reaches this end range of motion of shoulder flat, elbow away, logo up, his brain has nowhere to go but to come back down forward, which gives him the steep downswing. From there, he either can have really good posture and rotation and hit way too far down and left and hit pulls and weak cuts, or he can early extend and shallow it late and still have contact issues and hit pushes and hooks. Not ideal, right? So what we wanted to do was change this early motion. And the key for him, and I believe the key for you too, is getting the shoulder tilt early. So the ability to get the left shoulder working underneath that wall sets up the other two pieces. Here are the three. Shoulder down, elbow towards you, logo away. That was our swing thought. When we leave a lesson, I always give like a little phrase or some notes, right? And his thought he left with was this: shoulder down, elbow towards me, towards my stomach, and the glove logo pointed down and away, okay? So as we started hitting, I've got a 7-iron, he had similar, I think we were hitting 8-iron, and I was like, hey, listen, let's start at like 20% speed and just get that motion correct. So we started slow. Let's say he went about 100 yards, and I feel the left shoulder down, the left elbow pointing towards me, and the glove logo pointing down and away. Now see where that puts that shaft at. Now the club head's more in front of my hands, more on plane, okay, which sets me up to be able to shallow the club nicely in transition. Then I can do all the good things through impact. So we started at 20%. We did 1 or 2 rehearsals. I said, all right, go ahead, shoulder down, elbow towards you, logo away. Okay, that looks good. Again, that looks good. And then let's hit at 20% speed. Shoulder down, elbow towards me, logo away. And we hit one, and he hit a nice little, probably 100-yard 7-iron. We looked on video, and he didn't quite do it enough. Okay, so he needed the same thought, and you might get this as well, but more exaggeration. Same thought, but more exaggeration. We went through the same process. Hey, do 2 rehearsals. Don't ramp up the speed until you get it to look how you want. Left shoulder down, left elbow towards me, logo down and away. And any one of those I mess up is going to change the plane. Watch this, shoulder up, plane gets flat. Elbow away, shaft plane gets flat. Flat meaning like horizontal. Glove logo up, same thing. So I have to have all 3 of those, okay? Shoulder down, elbow towards me, logo down and away. He was feeling this really from about takeaway, and from about setup to about hip high. He was feeling all these pieces, and he was hitting these nice little 7-irons, like he told me felt effortless. Like he did this little takeaway part, and the club just sort of fell back behind him, okay? And he was hitting good ones. He expressed to me that normally, and you may feel this too, he feels like a lot of effort, like a lot of thoughts and work and a lot of effort on the way down. If we get the club in front of us nicely here, we have good reactions in transition. You shouldn't have to try so hard to correct things, right? These things should be happening for free. So he started doing pretty good at 20%. Now, full disclosure, I mean, that took like 20 minutes. I mean, we were hitting balls at 20% for like 20 minutes. So I didn't, no magic, okay, dust that I put on him and boom, one swing. Sometimes I can make that happen, but this was like 20 minutes. So once he got it for 20, we're talking back and forth. He's asking questions. And a lot of this when I give lessons too, and you probably have this, like you want to eliminate, when I'm with someone, I want to eliminate more thoughts than I put in. So when you're watching this video, You want to take this away and like eliminate 100 takeaway thoughts and just have this like one key thing. That's the goal here. Then we started to ramp up the speed, shoulder down, elbow towards me, glove logo away, and say, hey, let's go kind of 50, 60% speed. And all the while we're doing this, you know, we've got video on in there. So you're just taking your phone from down the line and checking it. And we're just making little subtle tweaks, okay? But the goal is, how simple of a thought and feel can I have and get the most out of it? And the sooner in your swing you do the correct things, the easier that's gonna be. The more things you have bad early, the more you have to make up for late. That's hard in like 1 second of time, okay? If you had a month to kind of fix all that stuff in your golf swing, but you don't. You got 1 second, right? So 50% speed, then we gradually just went up the same sort of thing. Just keep getting the speed a little bit higher. We got up to about 70%, left shoulder down, elbow stays towards my body, and the glove logo feels down a little bit. Let's do that one more time. And that should be getting the takeaway. I'm hitting those nicely. That should be getting the takeaway like pretty perfectly on plane. Now here's the key. Okay, you may not have the same takeaway he has, or me, right, or anyone else. So the key is, you've got to be able to have some checkpoints you want to hit. Like, here's where I want to get to, and then utilize video. And it's your job to adjust your feels to hit the checkpoints. It's not my job to do that. It's your job to adjust your feels to hit the checkpoint. So he came in looking like this. I said, hey, our checkpoint is here. Club right down my toe line, hands in line, club in line with my hands. He had to feel here to make it look like this. What I'm saying to you is, I bet, okay, likely, you might be probably in here too, and you probably have to feel here. If I could pick either one, I'd rather you get the club head a little more outside your hands while keeping your hands in with no excessive shoulder arm rotation, so that you get this look coming in impact. You look at Adam Scott or some of these players on YouTube and pause them during their takeaway here, you'll see the club head just outside the hands. And then in delivery, the club head's just inside their hands. This gentleman and a lot of our members have the opposite. Inside during the takeaway, over it during the downswing. So try this out, use video. The idea here, you get some effortless good stuff. One more time, shoulder down, starts with the shoulder down, it's the key, can't miss that. Elbow towards me, logo feels down and away. And this would be the same for all clubs, same deal. That should get your takeaway and backswing nicely on plane. Hopefully you hit some 7-irons like that. If you like this video, you want to watch some more YouTube videos about this, we'll link a video on here that talks about similar drills and feels. Listen, you may have to watch videos like this a lot before it sinks in. This is one video. When I find a good personal development video, motivational video, I'll watch that thing, you know, a couple times a week for years. So you may have to re-watch this many times. But I'm telling you, if you can get the pieces in early, it's going to help you. If you ever need help with that, we created CogornoGolf.com so that I could help you more, but I need to see your swing. That's where you can do that. Thanks for watching.